So around the time when I visited Dover Castle at the end of last year, I also heard about the remains of a Knights Templar church. And so after I went to Dover Castle, I went to St John's Commandery, and I made videos on both of those places. And so for a number of months I was looking forward to checking this place out. So once I got there, I had a great experience and I was very pleased that I decided to go. And to give you a bit of background information about this place, if you don't know much about it already, I printed off some information from the trusted information source known as Wikipedia. So I will read this and then I will go into more about my experience. But it says here, the Knights Templar Church in Dover is the ruins of a medieval church, and it has been designated by English Heritage as a scheduled monument. And what this means is a scheduled monument is a nationally important archaeological site or historic building given protection against unauthorized change. And when it comes to the history of the church, it says the church followed the same plan as the new Temple Church in London, but smaller in scale. For reasons of its design, it has been linked to the Templars, but it is not listed as belonging to the order in surviving records. If it was a Templar church, it was possibly used before they established a church in Temple Ewell in 1170 and built the Norman church of St. Peter and St. Paul, but is more likely to have been a simple roadside shrine. In 1309, Ralph de Malton was a preceptor of the church at Temple Ewell. And then it says the remains were discovered in 1806 during construction of the fortifications of Dover Western Heights. According to Matthew Paris, the Templar Church at Dover was the site of King John's submission to the Papal Legate or Legate Pandolf, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, in May 1213. But this almost certainly relates to Temple Ewell. And then it says, the church has a circular nave 10 meters in diameter and an oblong chancel built mainly of flint rubble with ashlar facings. This unusual form mirrors that of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem. I don't know if I said that word before Jerusalem right, but anyway, so when I was in Dover, I wasn't quite sure how to get there, and I worked out that I'd have to go via the dual carriageway and round the roundabout. So I ended up walking round there, and it turned out I went the longest way. And it was almost like I was going on a crusade. And then when I got there, I experienced this huge sense of relief. And it wasn't something that I forced myself to experience or I expected myself to experience, but it was almost like I'd just come back from an arduous journey and I was now being recharged. It was a bit like driving a few hundred miles and then stopping at a service station on the side of the road. It was an incredible feeling. And then at the end I walked another way down, and this was a much shorter path back. And so now I will share some pictures and some footage of the remains.